And we are live. Hello, everybody. Here with me in the stream is Neural Storm Entertainment. Together again, talking about a game we made. We decided 21 years ago is when we last left off making it. This is Radix Beyond the Void, and I'm Gregory McMartin. You guys know me enough by now. The other guys speak for themselves. So maybe John, introduce yourself briefly.
I'm John.
It's Dan.
So let's talk about what we did. I did like lots of artwork, explosions, levels, writing the story, etc., etc. John, what did you do?
Worked on the RadCAD, which is obviously the best level editor ever. And worked on a bunch of the other stuff in the game, including working, I think, with Dan on this freaking menu.
Yeah, the menu system. This was our, coup de grace or whatever. The thing that ends everything.
It zoomed in and shrunk, right? I mean, that's like work.
That's awesome. And then we got floors, and Shahzad's on the line as well.
Oh yeah. I did a lot of the texture mapping code. I also, surprisingly, I actually made a lot of levels and textures themselves, which was quite strange.
Yes, resident artist.
Artist/programmer.
Yeah, exactly. And you did the slopes too.
Slopes.
The slopes, yeah. That was actually an innovation at the time. That was like slope floors. That was like one step beyond.
Raycasted slopes.
That's right. So this game was made back when it was like after Doom, right around Duke 3D as well, like right in that time frame, right? So at the time when we had slopes, no other engine of this type pre-Quake had sloped surfaces. It was all just straight up and down.
Descent was out, so Descent had a pretty cool...
That's right. It was cool. Actual 3D, right? Yeah, this is true.
But
yeah, unfortunately, Descent came out like 6 months before our game, so that didn't help things.
No, it didn't.
I don't know. I'm actually still reasonably happy with this game, considering we were basically like students and we made a game and we did it from a blank screen effectively. It's pretty impressive.
Can you guys see the game running?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Good. The explosions. The only thing we're missing is I don't hear the sound effects, but maybe that's something that haven't.
No, because you muted Twitch, right? We can. Sound effects are playing if we want to stop talking for a bit.
You're in the Doom homage.
That's right.
That's right. I just blew up a big chunk of it. This literally is one of the rooms in Doom level 1. It's the very first level of Doom, right? Doom 1 level 1. Episode 1, level 1. Except that you can blow everything up.
Yep.
So blow up the top computers. You can blow up that. There's a secret wall.
Yeah. Can't you just continue to shoot that?
Yes. This thing here will eventually blow up.
I'll blow up.
Look at that.
So Romero and Adrian Carmack, who kind of worked on that stuff, just started another game up to do like a kind of a Doom Redux or whatever.
That's right.
Start for it.
Black Room.
Where's the bottle rocket? There we go. Nice.
Bottle rocket.
That's funny. You guys are that far behind. I'm actually playing the game, and you guys are reacting to things I did 15 seconds ago. Awesome.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Now you just destroyed that wall. Now.
Yep.
Weird to me. All right.
Yeah, we're a little bit behind because of the latency of the Twitch stream. It's fine.
Yeah.
I still remember this level quite well, actually.
There's actually quite a bit to it. It's like, remember you go into this pad and it opens up thing with like boom, boom, boom.
I think the texture that's on the end floor.
See, that's the bomb, bomb, bomb.
For all the people listening, yeah, we made our own sound effects. A lot of them were our voices that were sped up and twisted in a was it gold wave or something like that? Was that the editor?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Change the pitch and I think the plasma whatever it is, the plasma cannon was me in particular.
Was it really?
Yeah, I kind of shudder every time I hear it. I'm like, oh, I don't know, it's like.
It actually sounds pretty good. It actually doesn't sound that terrible, to be honest with you. You know what it came from.
One of the things that I find disturbing about watching this is the amount of aliasing that we had. If we had just built some freaking MIP maps and made our engine do some better MIP selection, which we could have done per column or per floor piece, because it's constant Z, we would have ended up with a way better looking game.
Pew 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 pew. Indeed, Conspawn.
Things that we know in hindsight, yeah. Like if we go back to 1995 now.
If we went back to 1995 now, we could write this game really, really fast. I think
I
even
drained the mud. I drained the mud. Awesome. Mud drained.
Do we still have? Remember what we used to call crappers? I don't know. It used to be like right around the what I call the mid level of the screen. Used to have.
Oh yeah. That's because we weren't doing sub-pixel correction.
Yeah, that's right.
I guess at the time we didn't know what that was. So
literally, we did.
Like, what are these things?
And rewrite it. We could have better subpixel mapping. We could have MIP mapping. MIP mapping would be cheaper, by the way. You literally would use less bandwidth to do that. I mean, it just would be a big win. Make the game look better.
Yeah,
But didn't we have to run in like 2 mega RAM or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
The MIP maps don't add that.
2 mega RAM. So awesome.
No, I guess it's logarithmic or whatever. You just need
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like a third more, 1.33.
Oh, and look at that map. That map is just classic.
Yeah, but the story.
Oh yeah, sorry, Greg.
Point.
Story that goes along with the map. Hey, what's up the top there? Oh, that's
Actually, this is one of my favorite levels in the game here. This is right up there. One of the last ones. That's the ones,
Hey, Greg,
ones I added. Remix.
Do you actually have RadCAD? Could you show off the editor?
I do. I don't know if it'll run though. I remember tried getting it to run a while ago, and it just crapped out. Like I couldn't do anything.
I mean, it was a Win 16 app, so
I tried running it Win95 compatibility mode. It didn't do shit. So.
yeah. I haven't seen that.
I can't imagine the Sweeney program was working on keeping the Win95 compatibility mode working very well.
Well, Win 16 I think is pretty deprecated at this point. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if some stuff worked. Oh, Win 32 is pretty much being deprecated now.
oh rockets. What about the plasma bomb?
I have it on. I have one of them. Yeah, I'm gonna use it.
I see that.
I'm gonna use it for this part here.
All right.
Remember all the mines that are here?
So
Hey,
each
by the way, you guys took out my mine texture and replaced it with another one. So the only real piece of art I had in the game got nuked in Remix.
Oh really?
Yeah.
the mine.
Yeah, I had like a weird spiky mine that I rendered in Caligari True Space.
Oh, I don't remember that.
That's like, that sucks. It wasn't good.
I don't even remember that making the original.
But your feelings are still hurt, John. I understand.
It's funny, all the pieces were here. Like,
well, the best 3D rendering I think was that jock ship. Remember that thing? It looked like a jock. Who's those guys? There were these two brothers that made that for us.
I forget their name, but I wrote that story up and put it on my blog.
So, speaking of
Kroll, I remember the name Kroll.
while we were
Yeah, the Krul brothers, Krul, I think.
huh.
Yes.
So we were on the subject of sound effects. We credited Mark Toddy for sound effects, right? Because there's Mark Cavell and Mark Toddy, two Marks. One guy did sound, one guy did music. Would you guys remember what Toddy did, sound effect wise?
Mark Gravel did music and Mark Toddy did some sound effects.
Yeah, I guess yeah. So he didn't make all the sound effects. He did some. So I don't remember which is which.
I think actually Dan pretty much completely handled the sound.
I think there's like doors opening and stuff like that. That we got those from Toddy. I don't know if those were him or whether they were sound clips from a library or something. But yeah, for the doors and stuff like that, I think that was him. But like the weapons are all us or whatever. Me just going like, okay, yeah, I think that we just didn't have a very big library of sound effects and not a very big budget to.
Yeah, that would cost money, exactly.
I mean, it was a true indie effort. All the talk about indie games nowadays is like this was true indie, right? Like, I mean, everything was written from scratch. Everything was created from scratch. Like, there was zero middleware used in the creation of this piece of software. Like,
Well, that's not true. We used the sound engine that Mark wrote.
Well, he still wrote it from scratch, though, right?
Yeah, he wrote that.
Yeah.
So you can say that the whole thing is really everything is still written from scratch for this project, right?
Yeah, I mean, we wrote the editor, we wrote the engine, we wrote the config util. I think, didn't Dan write the config util? Did you write that, Dan?
The setup program, you mean? Yeah. Yes. Yeah, there was no like library that we brought in for any of this stuff. So.
Oh yeah, hold on. We used Green Tree for network. Remember that?
You did?
The Green Tree network library that we used for modem stuff.
Wow. I don't remember that.
Really? It's like something
No.
we bought that like helped with the with doing the modem crap. Green
Okay.
Lib or whatever.
We supported modems? Wow.
You don't
I
remember
forget all
that?
about that.
Really, the street in the
I
game.
remember doing the IPX stuff for networking. But...
Yeah, we also did modems because you could literally dial someone up and connect to them. Like we wrote all the code to take up.
yeah.
We had an interface that.
Hey! This is this the graphic that we replaced of yours, John?
Yes, that's
Okay.
That's why I stopped here. Yeah.
Alright.
I don't remember making this. It looks like a render from what was that program we used to render stuff? I rendered all the power ups in that program. Caligari, was that True Space? That's right.
Yeah.
I totally forgot the name of that thing. Yeah. Damn, whatever happened to that program? I guess get bought out by someone and
I don't know. Let me Google
swallowed
it.
up. Yeah.
Can you go into cockpit mode here? Let's bring up the HUD.
What's the key for that?
I don't know. It's one of the F keys.
As of May 2009, Caligari True Space is officially discontinued.
As of 2009?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a long time.
Wow, that was pretty long.
Yeah.
Oh, check out this scrolling help screen.
Chase plane. I guess chase plane.
Apparently,
scroll?
at some point.
Use arrows.
Yeah, look, our plane. Let's just cycle through the different modes we're in, Dan. So we have the plane, first of all, right? This is the original version of Radix. You could never stop, and this plane was in front of you, and the idea was to not hit the walls and stuff. You'd take damage.
Yeah, it was like Zaxxon 3D. That was the idea.
Yeah.
And you'd always keep moving forward.
Yeah,
And then...
But then the editor was so awesome, I went nuts in all these crazy levels, and the design morphed.
And then we're like, man, I guess we have to go back now.
Hey, Greg, your computer looks a bit slow. I think you should bring the resolution down a bit.
Go to Gank, and new computer. Where is that? How do I go to that?
The funny thing is, I'm not convinced that makes any performance difference anymore at all on a modern computer.
No. It's just horrible.
What is the damn key for that?
For some reason, no.
Auto detail. Auto detail? No.
F5.
F5. There we go. Mid detail. So, computer's not too bad. There's a little bit of help. Low detail. Got some serious problems with computer. Super low detail.
I don't know the touch screen. Yeah, okay.
And then
I didn't see all those options on
Gank
the.
Gank it up.
It's awesome.
GANC. Get
A new computer. Huh.
Because I think we were trying to support like what, a 386/25 or something.
Yeah, 386, 30 or 25 was like the min spec. I don't think it actually ran very well on that though. Although running well is relative. Nobody was shipping 60 hertz free games back then. Even Doom ran at 30.
Oh, we got the little thing from Aliens there, the scope.
That's right.
60 meters.
One interesting thing that I remember, and I tell this story sometimes to people and they don't believe me, but when we were getting all the scores to show up, we were using like sprintf or something to do the formatting, and that was just completely destroying like our frame. Remember that?
The scores?
Yeah, like on the panel, like where it's showing you how many shells you have. We were using sprintf to.
Oh yeah, okay.
We had to write our own because it was basically taking an entire frame to do the sprintf. That's how slow it was. We were like,
wow, I don't remember that at all.
Maybe me and Shahzad were looking at that, or maybe I just looked at it.
Okay.
It was definitely like a wake up call. Like, holy crap!
Like you'd have to divide by 10 or something like that and make your own like little loop.
Yeah.
Is that what we did? Wow.
Yeah, basically just wrote our own little ASCII to integer or integer to ASCII thing. Which is pretty easy to do. It's just didn't realize we had to do it.
So there's some awesome stories we were talking about beforehand about just making this game, the shit we went through, and all the crazy stuff we did. Like hitch on, playing football 3 a.m. in the parking lot of that office space we had in Canada.
Yeah, that was an interesting story. Where we got this office in Canada, with the sign and everything. There's the sign.
I don't remember how to open this thing. There's like.
So how did we get this office? We went around. We're like, we need an office. So we just went around and asked this guy, you know, does this building have any offices? And he was the manager or something. I forget how. And he had his Coke in his hand, and he's like, yeah, we got an office here. And they're like, how about we give you $500, whatever, for this month, and you just let us, you know, we'll give you 2 months at $5. I don't know. Did we give him cash?
Cash deal, I believe.
Cash deal. That's right. Gave us the key. We paid $50 for the sign or something like that, and then anyway, one night we're out playing football in the parking lot at, I don't know, 2 in the morning. And then these 2 cop cars pull up, speeding next door, and then one cop runs over to us and says, yeah, I guess he kind of looks at us strangely for a second, then shakes his head, and he's like, you guys see anything? We're like, no, what? What did you see? He's like, oh, there's a break-in in the office building next door. I'm like, really? We're like, no, we didn't see anything. But I mean, like, who the heck's playing football at 2 a.m. in the middle of a parking lot in an office pit? Anyway, so the cop, rightfully so, didn't believe that we were the culprits. But anyway, I think he gave us permission to tackle anyone that we saw coming out of the building.
I got owned.
And then I like how we discontinued our lease there. Do you guys remember that?
I don't remember.
No, actually, I want to hear that story because I don't remember.
We just he gave us a contract for a lease, like 5-year minimum at, I don't know, 3 times what we were paying, and we were like, yeah, we'll think about it. And then we just packed up one night, left, and hung the key from the ceiling inside the door off a string, so that when he opened the door, he would hit the key with the door, and then he would know that we were gone. Anyway,
I don't remember that.
That was well planned out. Well planned out. Here, like
Sounds like the kind
evil
of
plan.
I don't think he even had a contact number for us or anything. So we're like, well, he's not gonna call us. I guess we'll just,
We fixed the glitch.
yeah, exactly. The problem just went away.
Went away.
Pipes and boilers.
And then we somehow ended up getting carrots stuck to the floor to Carlo for like months.
I remember that carrot. That was hard to get off, man. The thing was just baked there.
That's a lesson in something not to leave on the floor.
Then I recall somebody nailed a 2x4 with a blanket with some nails into the wall to like cover the kitchen opening. And when we left, somebody pulled it off and it like pulled off a bunch of drywall and shit. Probably wasn't the best.
You remember the pizza we left in the garage, De Carlo, for a long
Oh
time?
man,
I don't want to remember that.
Something came to mind. Me neither, particularly, but I did.
I do remember.
like little maggot-like creatures.
Yeah, I do remember us not having the wisest decisions back then. Like, I remember one time we decided to destroy a chair, I think, because we didn't, this chair was broken, and it was like 2 in the morning again. This is residential, so we go out in our driveway with that sledgehammer, and we're like hacking at this chair at 2 in the morning. And the neighbor comes running out, like someone's destroying his car, and like literally flying out of the door. And he looks at us, he's like, oh, you're my neighbors. I don't understand what you're doing out here. And we're like, oh, right.
Can you imagine? We'd be the worst neighbors ever.
I think we might have been.
Gets worse though. Before we hit the broadcast, we were talking about the fact that we had we did crank calling back in the day. Shahzad and I, at one time, it was like 3 in the morning or something, we picked a name from the phone book and started calling people, waking them up, saying random horrible things. Not horrible things, just weird things to confuse the crap out of people. Remember, Shahzad? That people would be like, what?
Oh yeah, I remember.
I deny all knowledge.
I remember, actually, Greg, I remember the prank call you got once from some hacker from Spain. Do you remember this?
What?
Remember some guy he called and he's like, I think he got like a beta version of our software when we were releasing with Epic, and he was like, oh hello, I'm a haha from Spain.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Do you remember this?
I do.
I think he was just trying to kind of because he got access to the game. I think he found the phone number in there, and then he just felt like calling us.
Yeah. And then there was like the time we actually called our own, so you could buy Radix over the phone, right? there was a call center that took the calls, and I remember we called up and tried to buy Radix, and I had a funny voice on, and I was just making shit up. I was like, what zip code? Zip 11576 or something like that. I don't know. And it happened to be a real zip number, and stuff we found funny at the time.
So basically, a bunch of immature teenager stuff that we found funny because.
Yeah, because we made this out of high school, guys. You realize we were a bunch of high school kids just screwing around, thinking we'd make millions of dollars.
I had 3 Ferraris.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 for.
The funny thing is, we actually could have made millions of dollars, I think, if we continued to push. Ottawa would actually be a pretty good place to set up a game company. There's a lot of talent there.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of stuff. You know, hindsight does wonderful things to stuff like this, right? But,
Hey, you want to know something interesting? Is my friend Brenda is married to John Romero now, and she worked at Surtec in Ottawa back in the 80s.
that's right. Yeah, Wizardry.
Wizardry and some other stuff.
Yeah, I know. That's my favorite games. It's super cool. This is one of my proudest achievements in the Radix engine. This is like the last thing I did.
The final level that you built, right?
Yep, the last level I ever built. I did this at DeCarlo actually. It's the last time I ever touched the editor for real and made a level. I was like so proud of doing this with slopes. This is just making the most out of Shahzad's slope system. I sat down with a piece of graph paper and worked out all the math for how to get the slopes joining up properly, combining slopes. So there's like these support beams that have their own slopes that are combined with the actual ceiling surfaces and.
Do you have the editor, Greg, or?
I do. I was drawing master. I don't think it runs though. I haven't been able to get it running properly.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah.
I'm sure there's a way to do it. But
So I actually just threw this equation into the chat, but the old ax plus by plus cz plus t equals 0 equation, that's how you actually made a slope, is you filled in the coefficients for that.
Huh.
Think about that for a second. Like it was like a bunch of these numbers.
yeah. Well, the editor wasn't that bad. You usually could move these. You could move the points around as to how you want the slope. Like you define what each number was for the point, then you can move the point around to decide to actually define the shape of the slope.
Yeah, there you go.
At the time, I liked it. It was like really cool.
Does stuff. Nice.
I was, when Dan sent out all the source code and everything,
Shit,
I don't
getting
know.
old.
I was looking through it a bit,
What's
and
about with NS Bag 1, right? NS Bag 1.
coding in C sucks.
You guys remember all the cheat codes?
I could look at the source.
NS Bag 1?
Yeah, that's God mode, which I just turned on. I know NSOPTA gives you all the stuff. NS Warp warps us around the game.
Yeah.
I don't remember too much more than that.
Do you guys remember the significance of
NS
Bag 1?
Bajip. NS Bajip.
Yes.
The
No,
significance
I
of
don't-
what?
That's
remember
isn't that
Are you talking about the Indian god Bhagwan stuff?
Yeah. It's a,
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was Pink Elephant Bhagwan. Is I think.
Yeah.
yes.
What?
That was our word for God mode.
Back
Yeah,
one.
it makes sense now.
And NS God would just
I'm
be
not
too
sure.
obvious, right?
I
You have,
did
to,
that.
you have to mix it up.
There we go. Okay. Armor now. Got some stomper guys to deal with in here. Oh, wrong way. So in a second, in a bit, I'll go to the options, and we'll cycle through those and see if that triggers some old memories. You guys remember the option screen with the random stuff?
So I don't know at what point. I think we had this all like built up and ready to go, and then I don't know. We were just kind of doing a pre-release announcement, and then we got some guy on a chat room or something like that saying, "Oh, you don't have network play? Boom!" And then we're like, "Oh, we have to add it now."
Yeah, that was on the National Capital Free Net, I believe. Dan.
We're like, "Oh, right. This dude says that we need network play. We gotta build it." And I don't know. I think we spent another 3 months building it, and then we had to add the modem support.
Some questions from the chat room. So Zavar Mistress is asking, what were the sales numbers for Radix? One of you guys want to field that question?
Negative $1 million or something like that.
I think we took all of our money in
Advances.
advances, exactly. And then once the game was marketed, there was like nothing left. We're like, ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna say in the low thousands of copies. I think was like where it ended up.
Really? Under 10,000, or like in the
Oh yeah, definitely under 10.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And I think it was at a point in time where things were moving away from the whole like shareware on BBSs to or Epic was moving away from that into their Unreal world.
The business model stopped working as well.
Yeah.
In the late 90s. They kind of pivot a little bit. Interestingly enough, I mean, that pretty much is the games industry writ large, right? I mean, the business model changes every 5 years no matter what you do, so... Even Steam, like, you could look at the Steam ecosystem and say that's been around for 10 years, but it's changed a ton in 10 years.
True that.
What was that green thing? Was that our equivalent of the BFG file?
Yeah, that was that gravity wave, remember?
Gravity wave.
What does that sound like? Okay, that was probably one of our voices again.
It actually doesn't sound that bad. It's like this weird looping energy, wow, 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 wow thing.
Perfect. Let's take that clip right there and we'll speed it up. We got the sound effect.
Remember the obelisk of death? I had you code this up, Dan, for remix. I remember this. For this brilliant idea of this obelisk shooting laser beams at you.
Oh yeah.
And it's one of the last things you did for the game.
Honestly, one of the big issues with this game was we didn't have a very good particle system set up. And it was difficult to kind of take things as far as they needed to be taken from a game perspective to be really good. Like the whole combination of good sound and good effects and all that kind of stuff. Just you did the best that you could with what you had, but there just wasn't a lot there to do much with.
Popcorn.
Yeah,
Popcorn.
what you just said preting much defines the entire thing, though. We all did as good as we could at the time, right? Knowing what we know.
Yeah, and I think what happened was it was a very organic thing that grew in different directions, and if we knew what we wanted to build from the start, we could have done a much better job, even at the time. But well, we started with like Zaxxon and moving forward, and then changed our minds a number of times.
Yeah, you know, part of it I think was also we were trying to differentiate from things like Doom and things like that, which I think, you know, in hindsight, again, it was probably a bit of a mistake. Like it was almost like, oh, we don't want to compete with id, and you know, Duke Nukem's going to be coming out, and blah blah blah, and it was kind of one of those things where we thought, you know, maybe we'll try to do like a flying game, or I think even one time we thought, hey, maybe we can make like something like a hockey game or something. Just, you know, the whole was let's build a 3D engine and figure out the game afterwards, as opposed to the other way around, right? So you know, I mean, I think we actually probably could have done pretty well with
Wait a second, Shahzad,
first person shooter, much like, you know.
That's how I start every game, though. 3D engine, and then I go for
massive Tyrannosaurus X droids have fallen.
Story. Immersive. You guys get the cutscene at the beginning, the plane flying away. Awesome CG cutscene.
Well, I think we had a CG cutscene at the end, didn't we?
Yeah, there was animation of this plane flying into space. It's very
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Did you see it there, Greg? Because I missed it.
Rui, rating 97.
1997, circa 1994, actually, and the Quactagon.
Oh, look at these names in here. Actually, some of these are the default names that Craig Boston.
Yeah, I think these were some of our beta testers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there were some of the tests.
Some handles.
Carl Devon. Were they actually real scores, or we simply put their names in there just for fun and assign random numbers to them?
Yeah, we put their names in there for fun.
Yeah. Let's just check out all our options. Sound effect. Network modem.
There it is. Yeah, John reminded me that. Yeah, we did. I do remember now about the initialization strings, and I'm like, oh man.
ATDT, blah blah blah.
Yes.
Yeah, this was about what we could boil it down to. I mean, we boiled this fucking screen down as much as we possibly could.
We'll wait for call, dial. Already connected?
Yeah, and that thing beside the dial is like where you put the phone number in.
Yep, exactly.
The protocol used for the network is there, how difficult would it be to get this working with modern LANs? Like completely impossible, or actually?
Yeah, you could probably do it fairly easily by setting up some sort of virtual IPX or something. If I had to guess, it wouldn't shock me if DOSBox supported some kind of IPX setup or something.
Huh.
I think Windows still supports IPX in some way.
Yeah, getting it through DOSBox is the question.
Yeah. Let's just not go there.
Someone earlier asked who has the rights. So basically, we do. I mean, this was our IP. Technically, Northstar Entertainment owns the IP to Radix. There was never any IP transfer whatsoever. So no doubt we own the IP.
Fortunately, it's also worse. It's worth nothing. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Epic Games. Hey, where's that last page of the ordering info, Greg?
I'm on it now. Just so you're not there yet, because
Alright.
you guys see.
Get some Bastard insurance.
You guys see the past, yeah.
But it's funny, James Schmaltz is he did that cockpit art. I was going to mention that earlier.
Oh yeah,
Thought that was pretty funny.
that's right. He's now
James
digital. He's now CEO of Digital Extremes, right? Makers of what's that big popular free to play game, Warframe. Yeah. Yep.
They sold that company though to I think Perfect World or something.
They sold what?
Digital Extremes got bought.
Really?
Yeah.
Just recently?
Like the last couple of years.
Oh. So what's Bastard Insurance? What was that?
I think the company was called Lester Insurance, and we were just operating on like zero.
Why did we get insurance? What was insurance for?
Oh, we needed like house insurance for our computers or something, and we had to call and get the insurance, and then
this was for DeCarlo.
Yeah, for DeCarlo.
Right. So how many places did we work? What was the very first? The very first was Dan's basement, right? There was my basement. There was the Canada office. There was the Bell's Corners office. There was DeCarlo.
I think Bell's Corners first, and then Canada. Was that right?
I don't know.
We worked with Union Logic first, didn't we?
First was in Hull at Rui's.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that was pre-Radix.
That's where Quoctagon came from on the whiteboard.
The Quoctagon. That was digital precision days.
We made the Quoctagon, drew it on the whiteboard, and then typed in all the fucking numbers into the 386 that we shared between the three of us.
Oh yeah, that was up on in that room, that third-story room with the slanted ceilings and the asbestos, I think.
Yeah, and then we had a
special electrical connections.
in the center of the Quoctagon. There was
aluminum, yeah.
There was a rotating Jolt can of cola or something, and we got it to rotate the texture. And we're like, yeah, we're so awesome. Got the Quoctagon rotating texture. We're awesome. And then we showed what did we show?
I think that was just what we learned about the sine and cosine formula for rotations.
It sounds right. Yeah. And then we had, but that was a raycast engine still, right?
Yeah.
And then we had with the big contract that we got Rui to sign, or proposal or whatever.
It was a term sheet, really, if you think about it.
But we weren't supposed to sign it. I remember that, right?
You can sign term sheets. Rui.
you don't sign the proposal, okay?
I mean, I thought that what we did is we basically put together a term sheet of like what we thought the deal was, and turns out the guy was a complete crook in every sense of the word. So
well, he wanted us to work for free, and then I don't know what he would do with later. He would just...
No, I think that's the end of it, Dan. In fact, it's a lot worse than because if you guys remember, I don't know if you know this, Quebec has a thing where they will cover a certain percentage of people's salaries, 30% typically, sometimes more, sometimes less. Are you guys still there?
Yeah.
Weird. The Twitch stream seemed to go down for me.
Yeah, the Twitch stream is not streaming.
Anyway, so what happened was, if you think about it, so imagine this scenario. Imagine he goes to the government of Quebec and says, oh, I'm paying these guys $20 an hour. Pay me 30% of that, and then he didn't pay us shit.
So he would get his $7 an hour? Or
by multiple people and for free. And I think that's what he was doing afterwards with Jean and some of those other guys that he hired, some of the art guys and stuff. Like, yeah.
So what's six free boisson gazeuse? What the hell is the story behind that? I don't remember that.
That was from Hull and ordering pizza a lot at Hull, I think. And then they're like, "Do you want your 6 free boisson gazeuse?"
Okay.
Sure. As long as they're free.
Reverse mouse to check your INI file. Wow. Special thanks to Karim from Larry. Karim from Larry. What's the story behind that?
No clue.
Kareem.
Kareem?
Kareem.
There was a guy we were always harassing in some of the in the groups.
And the Freenet?
On the Freenet, I think, and he was giving us like 3D engine information, and then I don't know. Larry was the pseudonym we used on there. Larry Fleming was the name we used.
He's busy right now communicating the world. Okay, later, okay? I'm on a stream right now, okay?
Special thanks to Kareem. Was Kareem the one who said boom? Boom! No network.
No, I don't think it was him.
Oh.
No, that was somebody else. But I think I think we had some issues with the guy. I believe actually, Dan. I think you once called him up.
I did.
Found his phone number in the phone book. Remember those phone books, those white pages? And I think you called him and asked him some questions about.
I don't remember this at all. I deny everything. Unconditionally denial. What kind of questions did I ask?
Oh, Quantum. What was that company?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, yeah, you're right. I don't know what that quote was.
Oh, that was because there was a quantum storage or whatever was in the office building in Canada, and we were all thought we were going to introduce ourselves to all the people in the building. So we were like, yeah, we're new tenants, blah blah blah. You guys are Quantum, and they really just were like, okay, you guys just get out of here, and we didn't want to get out of there.
I remember that office was pretty cool. I like that. I think that was one of my favorite places we worked, was that office, because it was quiet. It was remote. We had the parking lot to ourselves, play football around or whatever.
Oh yeah, it was awesome, and we had a good deal.
We had tunes blasting. We listened to what was the music we listened to, guys? I remember I first was introduced to Rush at that office. I remember John putting on YYZ. I'll never forget that. He's like, Greg, listen to this. And he put on YYZ, and I was like, holy shit, this is so good.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
And then we had I think was it Cool FM or something like that?
Pirate Radio. Remember Pirate Radio?
Pirate Radio.
Oh yeah, Chris Shepard's Pirate Radio.
Chris Shepard's
Pirate Radio. Here we are.
Let's Google that. Chris.
There was also those were the days of, I think Dan had the Ace of Base CD. I think we listened to I Saw the Sign probably about 1,000,001 times.
Oh god, yeah. Ace of Base, yeah.
That was back in the day of Columbia House, right? So you got to pick your 10 CDs that they got.
Oh yeah,
nothing wrong with Ace of Base,
right?
All right,
you listen to it 100,000 times.
Here. Somebody has Chris Shepard Pirate Radio Sessions Volume 2, May 1996 on YouTube.
There we go.
Wow. That's probably the one we listened to. Yeah.
Well, 96. Yeah. That's too far in the future. It would just have to be like 95.
Yeah, but it's still the same guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Why are you backing up into a lake? This is one of you guys had some issue. I remember Dan.
I may have taken my parents' car on a little ride and gone along the road that goes by the river, and I think the tires started smoking. I'm like, oh, maybe we should go back and yeah.
Oh, so you backed into a lake to cool the tires or something? Is that
I don't know. I don't know if that's what I'm thinking, but
military artillery range?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
That was it? Okay. So the next quote happened to be that. That's weird.
Yeah, the burning rubber. We gotta like.
Hey, do office buildings still have those smoking rooms like our Michael Copeland office did?
Today, no.
Oh yeah, that was kind of nasty, wasn't it? You'd leave our office and it was right by the smoking room. No, I don't think so. Although Frankfurt Airport still has it. I was just in Frankfurt Airport and I saw the camel smoking rooms.
Well, the Germans take their smoking seriously.
Do you guys remember how we originally this used to be the first episode? Wow.
I think I'm still like 25 seconds behind here.
Okay.
Or more. I say, woof, the crack paper can wait.
Okay, yeah, that's buffering more.
Don't be a pink elephant like some people.
The pink elephant bag one.
There we go. Pilot name. I Can't believe that this thing can still run though. DOSBox. There we go.
Pretty neat, yeah. It's
Only because of DOSBox.
Sound Blaster emulation. It's really good.
Level 4 neutron cannons acquired. We just need to have some voices in it too.
You know, honestly, the thing that really comes back to my mind when I think
Secondary
about
objective
this game was the whole mindset that we were in and how much we learned. And for me, you know, how many games I've made since then and how I feel so much more part of the industry. Like, when we first went down to Epic in 95, towards the end of 95, that was like really the first time it was like, oh wow, I feel like I'm in the game industry and, you know, can meet people that make games and there's like a community here and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you guys got to do that. I never got to go down to Epic. Sheesh.
We had to kind of weasel. Yeah, I remember that we weren't gonna go at all, right? And then we said like, look, deal's off unless you send.
That how it was?
Yeah.
Who got to go down? Was it you?
It was Union Logic that was going down, but they kind of changed the deal on us, right? So they were gonna do direct marketing, and then they're like, no, we're just gonna.
They Darth Vader'd us.
Union Logic did or Epic? Epic did. Epic did, right?
No. Union Logic was was gonna direct market, and then they decided, no, we'll just sub. I don't know what do you want to call it, subcontract to Epic or something. We're like, wait. So we lose our direct marketing and we get, smaller cut. So.
What was our cut? I don't remember. What was the deal? I don't remember the deal.
I don't know. It was like 50% of
$20 a
30%.
month.
What's that, John?
$20 a month.
So someone else asked if we made any money. I recall getting royalty checks from Epic actually, but they were like, $20 or something.
Yeah. I think if you analyze the hours that we put in the game, you could have made more money working at McDonald's.
But as John said, though, the experience was just golden for me.
Yeah, I'd say easily make more money working at McDonald's.
You would have to pay for all your food.
Well, the cool thing about back then, though, was we were doing a startup when it wasn't really cool to do a startup. So like nowadays, everyone's got a startup, right? But like back then, it was like, "Oh, you guys want a company? Sure. What are you guys doing?" And the gaming world was different too. Like gaming wasn't really taken as seriously as it is now. Like now, it's actually courses on video game development and all this kind of stuff. Back then, it was like, "Oh, you want to do games? Why?" Kind of do like work on the some government application or some accounting software or something, right? But so it's funny how things have changed as well, and it was actually kind of gutsy to want to do stuff like this back then.
It was insane, incredibly gutsy. It was nuts.
Shahzad, I remember you helping me on my first game. It was like a drop poker game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some cell files, board in C++.
Yeah.
And
we used Autodesk Animator. Yeah. That was our graphics program.
And I remember trying to hit compile for the first time and like 1,000 errors, and I'm like, oh my god, what did what's going on here? There's probably all just one missing semicolon, but
Dan, I remember you helping me with my Pascal coding stuff at Carleton University. Remember how I was going to Carleton University, working at White Rose, and then making Radix with you guys?
And you need to do Pascal for university?
Yeah, it was one of my courses, Pascal. It was definitely the one I got the highest grade on.
Oh, nice.
You don't remember that? Yeah, I remember you helping me out with like just getting my head around how to code and stuff. I remember that vividly.
Awesome. Well, Pascal is not really my forte, but any programming,
Yeah.
People often ask, what do you do? Well, I'm a programmer or whatever, and then they say, well, what do you program in? And you're like, well, it's not really important. What do I program?
Yep. I remember these things. This Shahzad made these. This whole level Shahzad's actually. I did a lot of levels in the game, but many of Shahzad's levels are in exactly pretty much verbatim as he made them, if I recall. I think pretty sure he came up with this.
Yeah.
Rui, we have been able to plot a course for you. All right.
Crap, there's that, like, animation of a reactor or something.
Yeah, that's your target. You gotta hit your target. There's your plane. Awesome. I think we had, 8 8 angles for each thing.
You guys are so behind me.
Yeah, eight sounds about right. Of course, some were symmetrical, so I had one. But...
Yeah. Now this was like an original. If you go back there, I think this was an original from the Zaxxon. This is probably like one of the first concepts we had, where if you're playing like in the Zaxxon, where you have to choose which path you went down.
Yes. This whole level is based on that philosophy, definitely. Yeah, it's all kind of this linear. You go left or right, and yeah.
I do remember this one as the first one. Oh, slopes.
Do you guys remember when we were screwing around with the FOV, and we changed it and everything looked all weird and shit, and we're like, what's going on? Like, we just didn't understand enough about how the map worked at the time.
Love these shapes.
Yeah, now we can just Google it. Back then it was, we had to buy.
Yeah, how do you figure stuff out there? I remember going to the Prospero bookstore. Was it
Well, that's why
Prospero?
early flooding. That's why you called Korean. Right? It was like, yeah, we go to the bookstore downtown. We'd, you kind of scrounge up whatever tutorials or books you can find on those BBSs, and that was really about it.
Well, don't forget Usenet, Rec Games Programmer, Comp Graphics Algorithms. Those are fairly sources.
Yeah, we used to access those from the freenet.
If you go back and look at the old Usenet stuff, you'll find guys that are famous game designers now posting that. Like Jason West, for example, who started Infinity Ward, was like having conversations back in the day on Rec Games Programmer and stuff when he was a student. It's like there's a bunch of people I know now that I had talked to back then and didn't kind of know it.
So basically, we use Freenet to get on the Usenet forums, and then I don't know, I guess get book recommendations on what kind of books to look at,
Yeah, there was also that famous book. Remember, Flights of Fantasy? It was like one of the first books on 3D game programming.
Right.
That was one I remember.
Was that an Andre Lamothe book?
No, actually, it was. That wasn't Andre Lamothe. I know what you're talking about. It was actually somebody else.
Yeah, this stuff is so much easier now. It's like it's not even in the same universe of difficulty. Somebody could make this game in Unity in like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say a weekend, but a month.
Someone asked, is it me or do the explosion effects look complex at least for the time? I would say yeah. Actually, it's probably the coolest aspect of the game. That's still neat, the explosions.
We just threw everything. We're like, we have one explosion. Let's throw 100 out there and just spread it around.
Yeah.
I remember actually freeze framing. It was Die Hard, or it was some action movies that had good explosions. I remember freeze framing it on the TV and then running over and diving into my. What was the pixel editor we used at the time?
That was cool right there. How that side explosion went all the way to the wall and then.
Yeah. What was that, John? That was the pixel.
Artist Animator.
Artist Animator, yeah. So going to Artist Animator and like working out the frames for each of those explosions. Those popcorn explosions. That's actually just me pixel arting. Trying my best to yeah.
You remember that we had Cygnus make us an explosion. They charged us like $800 for it, and we couldn't use it because it was bad.
Yeah.
It was too stylized.
Hey, what was the company that gave us those files that we gave them a contract deadline? Then they gave us these.
The Kroll brothers that Shahzad was talking about.
They gave us. Wait,
that was a jock ship.
But they also gave us these. No, there was someone who gave us files that were like purposely corrupted, and then we just looked at them.
That was them.
Okay, all right.
Dan, I wrote that story on my blog. I'll post a link to it so people can read it if they want. I just gotta find it.
So I'm gonna wait till you guys catch up so I can describe this. I remember this part of the level very well, where I remember making this part and where I got it from. You guys there yet? Let me know when I'm staring at like a little open door.
You're still killing people, and there's explosions going on, and there's rockets going around everywhere. I don't know. Is that what you see, John? Are you delayed too?
I'm just trying to find that blog post that I made about it.
Okay.
All right, so here's a link. I'll post it in chat, and then people can check it out if they want. So I called it "Strange Happenings at the Circle K," and I wrote up that story about those guys and the corrupted files that they gave us and stuff.
It was very odd. And we basically uncorrupted them, and we're like, "Hey, it's the same file. Like, what's going on?"
Because all they did is they went in and they modified the first 10 bytes of the header or something to make it so it wouldn't load. And we looked at it and we're like, we know how to reconstruct this. We know the size of the file is correct, so we just fixed it. and then loaded it up, and it looked like total garbage. And they stalling, right? I mean, it was the thing.
Okay, you guys probably caught up now. I'm just staring at this open door.
Yeah, that's what I see.
I vividly remember making this from seeing a screenshot of Dark Forces. I'm going, that's cool. I could make that in RadCAD, and then replicated it exactly. So you can sort of looks kind of like a Star Wars-y type thing.
Kill all enemies to continue.
Yeah, I hear you playing madly, but you're just still staring at the door. But anyway, we'll see what happens in about 20 seconds.
I was still playing Killing Monsters. Wow, the stream is way behind.
It takes a while for it to get all the way through.
Yeah. The thing is, this game is hard. If you play without cheating, it's freaking hard if you play on the hardest difficulty level. Like,
well, yeah,
it's extremely difficult. And you know, there's actually a guy, which I now in hindsight I should have posted. He has there's a Radix fan site on Facebook, and there's a guy that's made a video where he's played through the entire game with level 1 neutron cannons on hard, on the hardest difficulty level, successfully, right to the end. Not getting around.
Wow.
It's funny, I haven't seen a lot of these levels in a really long time.
Yeah.
And again, I'm frustrated by the aliasing because I just think we could have done a better job on that.
Even back then, you're saying, John, like with the tech available to you.
Yeah, we didn't know.
Oh yeah.
So no.
Yeah.
But with a little bit of help, we could have. I made some of the same mistakes, honestly, in the Total Annihilation engine. There was some bad aliasing that didn't have to be there if I'd done a better job with Midmap.
Yeah, I mean, learning and growing is everything in the game industry, unequivocally, right? It's always something new to learn.
It was also the age before Google, right? I don't know. So it wasn't so easy to just get, instant answers like like we do today.
That mine got me right in the face.
The answers were out.
And now there's also Stack Overflow, which helps a lot for programming specifically.
What's that? Say that again.
Stack Overflow.
I was just saying, like programming questions are so awesome these days because Google combined with Stack Overflow is like it's amazing, right? Every answer you're looking for is there. Someone's asking the same question, right? It's pretty awesome.
Do you guys remember the O'Reilly books? The ones with the animals on the cover? Like Essential, Lex and Yak and those kind of things.
Those.
Yeah. So I saw a parody the other day where someone had Essential copy and paste from Stack Overflow, and it had a picture like a lemur on it or something like that. Hilarious.
Hey, what's that sheet where I can like speed everything up so you get super weapons? What was that? Everything
like super fast.
Yeah. Where everything gets the rate of fire goes way up and everything.
Are you talking about Bajipping?
Yeah.
No.
Bajip.
That was Ennis Bajip was for flying around fast.
Well, there was like
that's
crazy.
You can really Bajip around. That's Ennis Bajip. But there's something that's for the super fast. Maybe it's probably somewhere online, right? But weapons get pretty cool when you speed them up.
It was like high rate of fire mod or something.
Yeah. But what was the actual cheat code there?
I don't know. It's been 20 years. Sorry.
I could try to find the code.
The only code I remember is the one from Contra. It's really the only one you need to know.
What's that? Which one was that? Oh shit. Problem is, I think the afterburners don't work for some reason. There are some minor broken incompatibilities with DOTBox. And
It's probably because we hooked the keyboard interrupt and we're doing things slightly wrong or something, I guess.
So in other words, Seeking missiles are particularly deadly because I can't outrun them for the afterburners.
So the cheat that you're looking for, Greg, is NS-Die Bastards.
Oh yeah!
That's right, I remember.
Blast those bastards away. Okay, watch this. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, shit. God damn it.
I don't see anything, but I'm guessing it's awesome. Then there's NS Frick Off, which would toggle air friction. I guess you just keep... I forget what that one is.
That's NS awesome to get the cool...
NS Horsley?
NS Horsley? What's that do?
Toggle rapid energy regeneration. I guess, like, kind of like God mode, but I don't know. Or no, I guess. There you go.
By the way, the whole NS thing was a play on the ID, KFA, ID, whatever
That's right.
G codes that were Doom.
Yeah, we copied them.
Hey, what was that game we used to play on the on that 3DO machine that we had?
Total Eclipse.
That's it. Yeah.
I actually met most of the guys that worked on that at one point or another. The main artist on it is a guy named Cyrus Lum, and Crystal Dynamics that made that game is actually, I think, still around. In fact, I think I just played a game by them. If I'm mistaken. I think they're still around. Maybe they got bought by someone. Let's see. They also made Turok and a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, Crystal's still around. So I wonder if I click on projects, if I can. Yeah, and actually they made the new Tomb Raider and it's really good. Just seeing if I can find Total Eclipse on here. Holy crap! There is a Total Eclipse on their actual webpage. Release date 09/09/95.
I don't remember that for some reason.
It was a game on the 3DO that Radix was definitely influenced by.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
I just pasted it into the chat.
As well as
Yeah, it was
Gex.
basically on rails, right? So it's kind of like that sort of Zaxxon 3D that we originally wanted to make.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So you can turn around right in.
Alright, Besters. Oh, nope, I already had it on. Didn't reset. Reloading. There we go.
There was another game that we looked at that actually Bethesda made. Do you guys remember that? The Bethesda trench running game
Trench running game? Really?
that Bethesda made with the ship where it was flying down the trench.
Oh my god, that sounds vaguely familiar. What the hell was that called?
I'm trying.
Google would know.
I googled it. I'm not having
That's
much
right.
luck
It's
so
back when
far.
I played the first arena game. I remember
Delta
that.
5.
Delta what?
Delta 5. Delta V.
I don't remember that as much as Descent. I remember having a sad day when Descent. And you're like, oh, it's kind of like what we're doing.
Yeah, that kind of. They really did one up. That definitely stole our thunder in a big way.
What's it?
Well, it was like, you know.
Because it was real 3D, right? The whole idea of look up, go straight down, fly straight up, fly straight down. That shit was just cracked back then, especially. It was so new and original.
Yeah, and also, had we designed Radix from the start as a go forward, go backward, instead of the Zaxxon idea, we could have done. Anyway.
Yeah,
I
well,
think
if you had a clear idea to begin with, the game you're trying to make, that's just what I was saying earlier, right? That's in general.
yeah.
There was also that other game that came out around that same time. I think it was the first 3D game from 3D Realms. You guys remember that? The name of it. So.
3D Realms?
It's kinda like-
Before Duke, you mean?
Yeah, it was like a. Yeah. It was actually like you're flying around over this terrain, and they had kind of this fog out in front of you, just so you could far away. But
yeah. You sure that was 3D Realms?
terminal velocity. That was it.
Yeah. No.
Terminal velocity.
Oh my
And you'd
God,
fly
yeah,
around
yeah,
the
yeah.
terrain, then you'd encounter, like, buildings and stuff.
Yeah. That's right.
Aluminum got it. Terminal velocity. Remembers that? One of the guys in the chat. Huh.
Yeah. That's fun. But that's I guess that's the biz side of things, right? Like you can never predict what other people are doing, and always somebody
you're
in
saying
some
the
other
Afterburner-
basement somewhere working on something, and
Aluminum
it's like a
saying
race, right?
The Afterbird always worked for him, but for some reason it's not working for me. I don't know, that's weird. Can you see the key? What key is supposed to be Afterburner? It's, slash and right mouse. Oh, right mouse button. Of course. What a dumbass I am. Of course. I don't know why I thought it was a key. I kept trying to press the sprint button. That's why my brain is so wired to sprint.
Designer on this game.
What's that? Yeah, theoretically.
It's actually pretty funny because people always ask me questions about old games I worked on, and I can never answer them. I'm like, I don't know, that was like 10 years ago or whatever. I don't remember.
So,
That was like 10 weeks ago. I don't remember.
yeah,
Like, who was the guy? There was some. Yeah, people ask me all kinds of stuff about old games because, they're still playing them or whatever, and I don't remember. Long time ago.
These things would slow down computers back then. It was kind of neat to play this on modern machines because nothing will slow it down, obviously. But I remember that NSDI Bastards on hardest difficulty mode would slow down, or even a 486 would get chugged down by that. Even a 486.
Anyway, I pretty much have to go here pretty quick because I have a 2 o'clock.
I think Dan has to go too. Yeah, you had to leave it too, didn't you? As well, Dan?
I have to go, yeah.
That was
But
awesome.
it's been fun.
Yeah,
You can
it's
always
pretty,
do a part 2.
it's pretty awesome. Yeah, I'd be up for that. That was awesome. Is there any final questions from the chat room before we end the stream? Remember water splashes? We added that in Remix as well.
Yeah, you gotta have water splashes.
I think Remix we did in what, like 3 weekends or something?
Yeah.
Greg? Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. And I remember I had a really bad...
Well, I spent way more time on
resource-
that in the levels. I was still addicted to making the best levels I could of Radcat. Making that once I made that dome thing, I'm like, okay, I'm done. That's it. This is the best I could do with the editor, the engine. I'm out of here.
There's a mic drop, just dope.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Walk away.
Pretty much as could happen. Yeah.
All right, well, it was good
Cool, guys.
talking to
Cool,
you
guys.
guys.
Awesome, everybody. Thanks a lot, you guys. That was really fun. That was a wicked trip from the past.
Yeah.
We can do it again sometime. Cool,
All
fellas.
right. Thanks, guys. That was
Awesome,
fun.
guys. Yeah, it was wicked.
Yeah.
Cheers, everybody. Thanks, everybody.
Cheers.
Thanks for
Cheers.
coming. Cheers.
Bye.